Hey everyone, it's Kale from Scud Style, and today I've got part 6 of the NoFap literature series. And we have Taoist yoga and sexual energy, transforming your mind, body, and spirit. Not necessarily in that order, apparently, because I read it wrong. But Eric Stephen Yudlov, forward by Master Montauk Chia. Master. But this one is much more of an Eastern book, clearly, if you can't tell by the title and the script and everything else. I wanted to present a balanced approach to this as I do this series because I've done a lot of Western texts and I know they're valuable because those seem to be more rare, but it's helpful to bring in a couple of these, and I have them, so if anyone finds them interesting, I'm just going to do a video on it. So anyway, let's get into the table of contents like I do. Part 1, basics to the practice. Oneness, what is internal alchemy, the three treasures of Taoism, Qi, Jing, and Shen. Breath, body, mind. And it goes week by week. So it's listed as week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, all the way through week 14. So this one's cool. I like it for that aspect alone, is that it really breaks down this. It's like a course. So that's really a motivating and kind of driving factor for anyone who's looking at testing out any of these practices, or even just cultivating awareness of self, whether that's body, spirit, the connection of body, spirit, the connection of body, spirit, internal fluid to energy, stuff like that. So it breaks it down, hair breathing in different parts for each week. Bone marrow breathing, 4 square breathing, standing qigong. Just all kinds of the contents of this book are a little more convoluted because of the breakdown, but yeah, 4 square breathing, sexual kung fu. So I just kind of want to get into the basics of the practice because now we have lists of exercises. Because the content's broken down more into things like that, but then there are individual exercises done throughout the whole book. So abdominal breathing, reverse breathing, the 6 healing sounds of the lung, kidney, liver, heart, spleen, and the triple wormer. Sexual kung fu, closing the 2 front gates, testicle and ovarian breathing. Yeah, this does go into both genders. So if there are any women watching my videos on this kind of topic, the last one, part 5, definitely had female things in there as well, obviously. And this one too. So the last 2 videos, part 5 and part 6, have been have individual things for both sexes. All right. And again, different exercises by week. So we'll get into some of this. What is internal alchemy? In ancient China, external alchemy also referred to this quest to change lead into gold, right? But we're looking at internal alchemy, which is, I can paraphrase it here. I wanted to know if it had a little bit of a nice little tidbit. But it deals with the changing the energies inside the body. It begins with learning to gather the energies from the 5 major internal organs and to harmonize this energy and change it from negative to positive energy. We call this process the fusion of the 5 elements. And it goes into abdominal breathing. There's also a lot of visuals, which really help for things like the breathing, cross-section of abdomen. I've underlined a bunch of things here. But our major sources of qi, energy, comes from the various forms of liquids, fluids, and hormones produced in our body. This includes the blood, the lymph system, all hormones secreted by glands in our body, and male and female sexual fluids and hormones, including the sperm and the egg, our essence. Jing is not the same as qi. Essence is not the same as energy. Essence is converted inside our bodies into energy. It goes into the 6 healing sounds. I'll give you guys a little bit of a bonus sneak peek there. There they are. Won't go into them right now. When our sexual potency begins to wane, our energy levels begin to decrease substantially. How many of us have experienced this if we've been working on cultivating or anything like that? Sexual energy is the only energy in our body that increases in force when activated. When you are not sexually aroused, you probably aren't even aware of your sexual energy. But once you are sexually turned on, you can feel a tremendous increase in force in your body. How can you measure this increase in force? You cannot, but you can learn to harness it. Two front gate. And here's another one I was talking about, male-female. I feel like I'm in 7th grade again, you know, learning the human reproductive system, but I'm a little more interested in it now for the energy reasons behind it, obviously. So it gives a male and female specific process for this breathing, closing the first gate. Testicle and ovarian breathing. Again, more stuff, each gender. This talks about the $1 million point in here. I would definitely not do that. That's just me. I've heard really awful things. I personally don't do anything like that. And just a disclaimer, I don't do a lot of things in this book. I don't do a lot of these practices. I have my own energetic practices that I do that I find work better for me. Not to say that these don't work. I would never condone some of these practices. I think they're potentially harmful. I'm not necessarily even pro Tantra or pro anything like that, as I talked about in the last video. I think a more restrained internal type of approach is more valuable, but that's just me. Just wanted to put that disclaimer out there before you guys start doing these things potentially. But doesn't it make sense to keep ourselves healthy? Because we should be aware of our major organs and keep them happy and healthy by smiling into them and thanking them for keeping us alive. Just kind of goes into, I talked about inner awareness before, and with the meditation practices I do and teach, awareness is so massive. It's really huge. And just bringing awareness to all of these autonomous organs and systems in our bodies, our nervous system, parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system, our respiratory system, all of these things are just going on all the time without our knowledge. And for us to actually bring awareness to those things is an incredibly valuable practice. And so I do support things like that in this book. Yep. All the meditation practices that follow in this book are enhanced if they are preceded by a quick inner smile, or just if you bring awareness to your body in each individual component. That's why with meditation, when you relax each thing individually, it's amazing how much more effective it is than when you just say, oh, I'm just going to relax, because you're bringing awareness on a much deeper level. Yeah, more pictures, more graphs. Microcosmic orbit, it goes into that. And again, some of these things can be interesting to explore. Talks about the relationship between these organs. The heart and the tongue are related, the lungs and the nose, the liver and the eyes, the kidneys and the ears, and the spleen and the lips. I know in Chinese medicine they use discoloration and problems with those different things as great means for diagnosis. But so anyway, and then, and then it goes into, after all those practices, it goes into the week by week kind of curriculum. Got hair breathing, all kinds of breathing types of exercises, standing qigong. Yeah, the Jing body. Turning of the yin-yang wheels. Yin-yang, yin-yang. So there's all kinds of illustrations, as you can see, which really, like I said, make it easier to kind of visualize these practices and make them happen. Sexual energy massage for women, sexual energy massage for men, all kinds of stuff for men and women, partner-related stuff, solo stuff. There's really a lot in this book. So again, I don't necessarily endorse these practices, but there is some useful corroboration of Eastern support of sexual energy, Jing, Qi, Shen, and how important and vital it is to cultivate it. And not only that, but to just be aware of your body. And with this essence inside of ourselves and this retention and this sexual fluid, that's just one level of awareness in our body. And being aware of the whole entire system can lead to health and longevity of the entire system, the entire body. So thanks so much. I'm going to leave a link for this below if you're interested, and have a great one.